Hello, students. Last time, when I was recording, I could, in the exercise of lesson 4.2, check your packet 4.2. The problem number 4, I did only the first part, construct a histogram for 10 class intervals. And now we have to draw another one with 20. I think this is the one which we haven't done yet. So how do we do this is, remember the maximum was 47 and the minimum is 8, and when you subtract the 47 minus 8, and you get 99, 39, and then when you divide by 2, you get 1.95, which is and then you round it to the upper number, which is 2. So your class intervals become 2. And if you see the next one also says if you increase the class number to 20, what would you expect to happen? So even if you do for, let's say, 47 minus 8, and you divide by 25, you get 39 divided by, sorry, this was divided by 20, and that's why I put it like 3.9 divided by 2, and I'm making 25. So you divide by this, you still get 1 point something, which again rounded to 2. So your class width will be class width will be 2. Let's go directly to do the digital and see what's happened. So if you go back to so here is the data that you see. It's the same thing, and this is what I did in my last video. And this was when we tried to divide this into, I think it was divided into 10 class intervals. And I did not write the whole detail of this. So let's change this to 20. So let's see if I do this 20 and then 25. See what's happening. If I go here and mark this and insert the chart with the histogram, and but this time I want to customize it to width of 2, because for 20 and 25 it will be the same thing. I put an enter and you can see how the graph looks like. But then we have to have minimum at 8. So I'll have to go all the way to the horizontal axis and put minimum as 8. Maximum is 48. You can see how. So I'll try to make it a little smaller just to understand this. This will be for both. Uh, this graph that I feed is for put it side by side so that we can make a comparative study here. Okay. So what do you notice here? Let's see. Is in the first example, the class which is 4 from 8 to 12, 12 to 6. But here it is 8 to 10, and you can see I'm gonna use, because I have this 6 here, so I'll try to reduce the vertical to 6 just to show that maximum. I'll put 6 here, and then we can easily compare, because and this graph both have maximum 6 and 6 here. And you can see what do you notice is that the graph flattens. It means instead of 6, they all go down. And the big one, if it is the 4, 4, they become smaller, 2, 2, 6. So a lot of frequencies, 2 and many are one also, one, 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 one. So basically, the frequency is flattens when we increase the class width size. That is the observation. So the question is asking us, if you were to increase the class interval to 25, what would you expect to happen? The shape flattens to many bars. You can see there were 10 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, and here there are 20. Of course, the some are missing here. So that's the observation. So main thing is to understand about these two things is, if you were to create another histogram from the same data is the same, but instead we use 20 or 25 class interval, we would what we would expect the shape to further flatten, and you can see the flattens out to many bars with frequency, low frequency. These are having low. As we increase the number of class interval, it looks like we may also get more intervals with zero. So here there was no zero, but here there are two of them with the zero. So this is the understanding. And then there's one last question number C. If you see in the question number C, here it says uh, the Affordable Care Act defines a full-time employee as one who working 30 or more hours per week. What percentage of the workforce would we consider a full-time? Now, if you go back to this graph, now in this case, the 30 is in between. Now this one that you see 28 and 30 is in between. So this graph doesn't help us to find the percentage because we don't know how many are there for 30. But if you see here in this graph, you can clearly see, as I was saying, question was asked, what percentage have uh, the question was asked, what percent of the workforce would be considered a full-time? A full-time worker is 30 or more hours. So 30 or more hours is considered full-time. Now the first one, 30 will be some in the 30 is in between this, so we don't know how many because we can't see this 30 here. It is in between, so we are not sure how many workers have 30 more there. But if you see in the next example, here, so this part, so this is that, so this is the piece which is 30 and 31. So this one is 30 hours and 31 hours. The next one is black. Let me use a black color. This one is 32 and 31. This one 32 and 32, 33 hours. So that means we can count here. So this is 2. So this is 2 plus 1. And there are 3 of them with 2, 2, 2. And you can see it is 2 here. So it is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. And there are 3 ones here. 1, 1, and 1. And together it becomes 12. There are 12 workers who are earning 30 or more. So that means it is the 12 out of there are 36 total workers. And if you multiply by 100, you get 33.3%. Okay, so that's all that means. It's a nice example to understand. So when you have more width, if the class intervals are increased, then we can figure out what percentage of the workers have more than 30 hours, 30 or more than that. So I hope that clarifies this problem, which I think I was unable to explain in the last video because I just finished only this part and then I had to rush to something else. Now let's go to question number 5. So question number 5 said, side-by-side histograms and experiments compare the ability of 3 groups of participants to remember briefly presented chess position. The data shown below. The numbers represent the total number of pieces correctly remembered from three chess positions after the first 10 moves. Now create a histogram for each of the player types using the same class interval starting. So they gave us here. So the good news is they give us the cluster from 20 to 29. That means the width is 10 for these three groups. What can you say about the difference between these two groups from the histogram? So what are we supposed to do is I'm going to mark this. So we have to let okay, here it is. Okay. So what are we supposed to do is this is not just so there are three parts here. See one, two, and three. So when we try to let's draw the y-axis and the x-axis, and first let me show how it is. Let me use the blue color. So maybe this one and all the way. Now the good news is they told us to take class intervals from the beginning starts with 20 to 29. So we'll start with let's see this one is from here is 20 and then 30. So that means the just before that will be 29 and 40. And because we have to let me use little bigger one, the lens size. Let me clean this off. And okay. And before even doing this, it's better to also have a frequency distribution also. But frequency distribution we can directly let's put it since start with 20, so 20, then 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into three parts. So this like because each of these is split into three. Okay. That's because we have this piece and this piece and this piece. That's why. Okay. So the first one is so now in this case 0 to 30. So I'm going to use a bar. Uh, so so 20 to 29. So until here. So how many of them are there? You can see one. Okay. We could this 20 to 21. So 20 to this four pieces. There are four of them. So that means the first non-players. So we'll have to do the maximum. So let's put this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what that's basically what I'm talking about is since because there are four of them, so I'll go and put a bar until 4. So this is for non-players. I'm going to use green color for the beginners. So here beginners from 20 to 20, there's only one here. See? So this will be the, so for the beginner, there's 29 is that also there is 29 here. This itself is 2. So I'm going to put a bar right here, the green one. See, this is for, and then I'll put the pink one for Here you don't see anything. These are all big numbers, so there's nothing here. So this is like a blank. So that takes care. Next, we'll go for anything that is 30. So 31. So 31, 2, and 3, 4, 4, and 5. So we have 5 of them, which are, so from here I'll have to drop all the way till 5. So this 5. Then green color for next one. There are two of these, 32 and 37. Again here, this is, and the pink color, do we have, if you see there's a 39 here, that falls between 30 to 30, 40. So there's one, so I'm going to put a pink color right here. Now that is done. Next we'll go for red again. From 40 you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 of them. So this will be all the way 4. Okay. And the green color is for 40 here. 1, 2, 3, and these are the 3 of them. Okay. So this will be 3. And the pink color you have between 40, 50. And you can see there's 1, 2, and 3. So there are 3 of them. So this will be the same height. So this also is 3 because you have 40 to 50. So these are the 40 to 50. There are 3 of them. Next we'll go for 50, the red color 50. You don't see anything 50, so there's nothing here. And the green one, let's see the next one. 50, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. So I have to do here all the way till 5. And the pink color will be here. How many of 1, 2, and this is 3. So this is 3. Okay. Next we go 60. Of course, you are done with this. So next one, this will be blank. This will be blank. This will be blank like this. So you have to think of the beginners. That is the green color. 60, you have only one. So this will be one here. And the pink color will be 60. Here, 60, there is 163. Just one of them. This one, made a slight mistake. This green color should have been, this green color should have been here. One. And then the pink color is, this goes till 3. I mean, 60 is, sorry, just a 1. This is 1. Then 70 is, and this is nothing because it's over. And if you see the pink color, next is 71, 79, and there are 3 of them. So this will be 3. And again, 80 to and 89, there are 2. So this will be 2. Yeah, so this is the graph of the bottom one are the class intervals. The number of pieces recalled. So these are, I don't have enough room. So number of pieces they remember. That's the y-axis is the frequency, this one. So this is the y-axis, which is the frequency. Okay. Now the question is asked, how many of the okay, so now let's see if we can do that same thing digitally. So what I did is, so let's see. Okay, so you see this was the data which is right here. Okay, this is the same thing, non-players, the beginners, and tournament players. So what we do next is non-players. One player remember 21, then another player 22. So these are 13 players who remember number of. This could be also similar to three different classes. The first class may be students who are struggling. This may be average students, and this may be the students who are honors, and that's why you can see the scores could be high. And that's another way to understand. But my point is, can we do whatever that I showed you with digitally? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this first. Select this all three because we have three sections: non-players, beginners, and the tournament players. Like as usual, we'll put the chart. Okay, now go here. We'll have to change this chart to histogram. So if you go all the way down, there is a other. So click on this one. And now we need to have, because the question was saying to have first 20 to 29. So we have to do some changes here. So to customize, go to the histogram and you will see because there are 10, our bucket is, because it says 20 to 29, the next is to 30. So 20 to 30 means there is a 10. So I'll enter here. Okay, and this is how the graph shows up. Few changes we have to do here is first is we'll go to let's name the this chart. Okay, so where is that? So yeah, so let's name the chart title. The chart title is, we can name it as memory comparison, memory. Okay, and then we can also change horizontal to number of pieces recalled. Okay, and the vertical axis we can see the frequency. Okay. Then by default, we already have this starts with 20, so this 20 to 30, 30 to each class interval 20 to 30. We are trying to show the data. That means five players. No, these are the five non-players. These are two beginners, and here there are no. So what that basically means is tournament players. You see, there's nothing here. So each class intervals, it shows all the three, and we can compare this. Now we need also to write down what are these count. So if we this means non-player. The next one is beginners. The next one is tournament players. Okay, so see how beautiful this is. Now you can compare in the beginning. The blue ones are on the left. There's a five. Then the next. Okay, so let me go directly. So, so this is the one that we completed. So the point I'm making is, uh, we'll do one more problem. I'll continue with this, and let's do problem number 6. So if you see the problem number 6, so problem number 6 says 800 adult Americans were asked by telephone poll, what do you think constitutes the middle class income. The results are being given. And clearly see from 800 phone calls we have made in random, 13 of the respondents who picked the phones, they responded that they think that it is 20 to 40,000 is the middle income. And likewise, only few said, three of them said to above 200 is middle income. And this may be in New York, maybe in LA or Boston or Washington, because where the 200 is like a quite a middle income because it's the rental is so expensive and the standard also is. So what are we supposed to do here is ask these questions. So let me complete this pull up. So first question is asking us how many people in the survey did not answer. So what that means is all this, if we combine, these are all the people who answered. That means the total, uh, those who answered, the total is, you have to add up all of them, and that adds up to 784. You can use your calculator and add all of them, and you get 784. But the total phone calls that were made were phone calls were made by 800, and from this so the total who respond, these are all the total who responded. When you add up, you get 800. I mean, total by 800. From this, the responded total here is 784. And when you subtract 784 from here, you get 16 did not respond. So that was the first question, did not respond. The second question B is asking you, how many of this, the TUSD, the teacher's salary start with 40,000. So what percentage, uh, if you see the table, what percentage of this believe people are making 40 or above? So in this case, how many are making 40 or above? You can say 40 is right here. So this is 40. That means we'll have to total this, right? But all together, these are 784. So from 784, we'll have to subtract this 13, which is because there are 13 employees have salaries from 20 to 40. So this we'll have to subtract from 784 because 784 is all respondent. If I subtract this from 13, you get 771. So this 771, now what is this percentage? That means 771 divided by 800 because 800 is all of them. You multiply by 100. You use the calculator, you get 98.3. You can also graph this because this is from 20 to 40. Like this is like 20 to 40. So I draw the x-axis and the y-axis, and you can say I mark 20 to 40, 40, 60, 60, 80, 80, 100, 100 and 120, 120 to 40, 140 to this, and this is 160, 182, and 200 above, 220. Okay, so then we can easily mark the first one is 13. So that means for this, we can mark, we can mark 13. Now 13 will be like, this is like 10, 20, so somewhere here, you can make one table like this. And then next one is 79, which is almost like 80. If this is 50, 60, 70, 80, like this. Mhm. Next one is I use the green color again. 169, which is almost 170. This is 180, 170. Oh, sorry. The red one, we did it wrong. So red one is 80. So 80 will be 50, 60, 70, 80. Yeah. So this will be 80. The next one is 82. This is 169 is like 170. So that will be like this is like 200. So this will be like somewhere here. And then 150, almost 150 will be this one. This is 100. 150 is this one. So we are not getting perfect graph. And the next one is, so if you on this one, you can always draw the graph by yourself. But there's one question they ask is about 2019. Uh, Here they're asking the Tucson Unified School District has 40,000 as the base salary. Based on whatever the survey that we see, uh, based on survey, approximately what percent believe people making 40,000 make has middle income, more more middle income? And you can say this is like a perception of depending on like when the phone call is made, which state or is it a city or village or how many kids are there in a family, children, or how big is the family. So it depends on that issue. So that's what is just because we start 40 to 60,000 maybe for Tucson is fine. It could be the middle. But it's all about perception of the place depending on the standard of living. So the question was asking based on the survey, approximately what, not this one. So based on the survey, uh, would it be appropriate to apply the result of the survey to teacher salary in Tucson Unified School District? So I would say there are 79 respondents who says 40 to 60, and in Tucson we have 40s to 60s with the middle income. So we come under the, compared to all this, there are so high number of respondents maybe from the city. So we are not sure from where the phone calls were being done. So it is not appropriate according to me. The question number 7 says the height in feet of 25 trees, lowest to the highest. Construct a stem leaf plot. Now, what is a stem leaf plot is you just draw a stem and these are the leaves like this. So the minimum starts at, I think 20 here, 20. So we'll put 2 here. Then we have trees. See that this 3 till here. Then you have 4 also. And then in the first, the number at the one place you can, and the rest are the 5. And then the leaf that you can put is this 25. So the 2 goes here and 5 goes right here. So then 27, 2 is already there. Put a comma in and then 7. Then in 34 to 38, 39. Okay. So you have 33, 34, 34, 30. So 33. So the second number. So these are the numbers we put. So it is 3, and there are 3 4s, and there is 5 7, and then 8. So there's 8 here. And there are 2 9s, and we are done with that. Then for the 40s, we have 0, 1, 5, 6, and 9. And 5, we have, there are 4 of them. These are the ones. So it will be 0. You see? So we have 0, 0, 3, 3, 4, and 4. So that's what. So that's called stem leaf graph. Leaf plot, or it's called also graph. Let's go to the next question. Now, for this, we'll have to check. The minimum starts with 4. Is there a 4.8 somewhere? Yeah, see? So you have to be very careful. So we'll start. If it is 4.8, this will be the stem. This will be the leaf. So we'll put a 4 here. So 4 here and 8 there. Then for 5, so we have to look up where are the 5s here. There's 1 here. There's only 1. So 8 goes here. It goes with 6. I think 5 we have, I think 5.1. So there's 1 also. I'll put 1. And there is also this one. For the 6, we have a lot of them. So 6.4, 4, and you will see for 7 also you can find 7.0. Let's see where is 7. This 7.0, the 0 here. Then there is 7.1. So put a 1. 7.2 and 3. And likewise, you can see I'm just doing for check. Okay, you can confirm this. And for 8, you will have 1. And for 9, there's nothing. So it's just a blank. And for 10 is 1. And you're done. Now, if you see this, the question number 9, the histogram shows what is misleading. The main thing is you can see the y-axis. They don't, even though it starts at 0, but you will see this is the 0 to 5. And from here it jumps with 25 increment. Here 70 feet increment. So this is not good. That is one thing. I always say that this is not a good because the vertical, the y-axis is not calibrated well because even though this looks distance is, this distance looks same, but the widths are different. So we can't use that. Question number 8. It shows 2 graphs. So what is mistake here is, and you can see here, if you look at the graphs and the investment in the first and the second, even though this looks like high investment, but it does not tell us what is this, right? So the values on both uh, horizontal as well as the vertical axis are missing. So you can see horizontal value, these values are missing. Without knowing this, the scale on each graph is not possible to know. So without knowing this, the scale, we won't be able to know the ACM investment truly had a higher value for the investment. Even though it looks at higher, it doesn't mean that, but we don't know what it is. It could be this, it could be $50,000, and this could be 40,000 also. So, so anyway, just wanted to show this. This is not a good video I did, but just wanted to show how to complete the exercise.